Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of Alaska Air, ticker symbol ALK. And so I just wanted to go over this chart because over the past month, it did something that I think is really interesting that basically on this channel, I want to be looking for in stocks, whether that's in the daily videos that I put out or scanning the markets on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern when I do live stream. Happy to take suggestions for stocks, and I think Alaska Air would have been a great one to go over. And so what I go over in this video is an example of what we might find together. And so I'm really excited about that. I think this is a really, really cool chart. And so basically what happened is between November 2nd and November 3rd, there was this gap up. It wasn't a huge gap up, but there was a gap up. And so that tells me that eventually price is going to return to this level at $32.15, which was the high on November 2nd before the gap up occurred. And so basically what could have happened, what we could have done is said, all right, there was a gap up. Let's put a buy order, a limit order there at 32.15. Eventually that gap's going to be filled. That will be a low and there might be a bounce. I'm just going to put the order there and forget about it. All right. Okay. And so as the month goes on, price goes up. There's another gap, which to me, this tells me, okay, now that's a price target. If price does return to the green line, we now have a target of $35.02, which was the low on November 14th. So that's great. Now we have a trade setup. Still waiting for the gap to be filled. Price continues up. It consolidates for a little while. We get another gap between November 28th and 29th, going up to 37.18, the low on November 29th. So that's another price target. And then 2 trading days later, we get a gap between November 30th and December 1st, which went up to $37.90 with a very small, actually there's no gap there. The gap came following the first. Between the 1st and the 4th, you see this gap down. And so now looking at this chart, we have our buy order filled because the tail of the candle, this bullish hammer that occurred on December 4th, our order was filled when it came down, filling that gap. And so now we have a position, and we have a position with 3 targets, meaning with those targets, we could trim a third of the position as it moves up. And so if I just slide this over, we can see that the first target was hit the day following this gap down. So on December 5th, 35.02 was hit. Then the following day after that, 37.18 was hit. So that would mean taking a third of our position off the table here, another third off here, and then the following day, there was this cross. And it looks like that came down to, let's see what was the low on December 7th. The low was 35.03. So just nearly touching this yellow line, which was the low on November 14th. Now, following today, December 8th, we did get this candle here, which seems like price may not continue higher. It may come back down to this yellow line before attempting to fill this gap to the upside, because there still is this gap between the orange and red lines here. And so, basically with this, if we were in this trade, we could say, or I could say, I'm happy with the profits. I'm going to take them off the table because I don't really know if this is going up or down. It's possible it will go up higher. I still have a third of the position on the table, so I think that's pretty cool. And so basically from this trade, we can measure between these lines. And so from the green to the yellow line, that represents a nearly 9% gain on that trade. And then going up to the orange line, that is approximately over 15%, nearly 16%. And then if we were to hold to the red line, that last third of the position, that would be an approximately 18% move. And so I just think that this is a really beautiful setup with a clear entry point when this gap would be filled, whenever that would be. And then with these gaps to the upside and then this gap to the downside, we now have 3 levels to trim our position at. And so I think that is super cool. And so on Sundays, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be scanning the charts, looking for setups like this, and hopefully making good moves like this one. I did not participate in this, but I just think it's a beautiful setup, a beautiful trade, and I like to find these and carry them out. And if you found this video exciting, interesting, make sure you like it, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and join me on Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern to scan for charts like this. Thanks a lot for watching.